Hello, Cinemaster lovers. Welcome back. I hope you're ready for an exciting experience because we've got something special for you today. Get comfortable, grab your snacks, and let's dive right into the action. Let's get started. Our story begins after the world was destroyed by zombies. We move to America with a journalist filming the riots happening. A zombie told him, "Did you ask permission before filming?" And he ate him. We see a fat man running and making disgusting noises. The zombie said, "Oh, you disgusting kid, I won't leave you. I'll block my nose and eat you." We move to another place with a woman killing a zombie before it bites her. Not only that, she puts her foot on him as a form of insult. Suddenly, he wakes up and says to her, "What a beautiful leg. May I have a little nibble?" We see a person sitting peacefully in the toilet. Suddenly, a zombie enters from under the door. He surrenders and dies with dignity. Meanwhile, we see a young man living alone named Columbus, and since he doesn't leave the apartment much, he isn't aware of the zombies. He hears a frightened girl knocking on the door. He opens it to find his neighbor, calming her down and trying to understand what happened. She tells him she was walking while talking on the phone when she saw a strange man running after her. He tells her, "That animal wants to harass you." Continue. She says, "As soon as he got close, he bit me, but I pushed him and ran." He tells her, "So he wants to harass you and bite you as well? That's too much. If I were with you, I would have killed him." She tells him he has to go and get revenge for her. He says, "I'll go, yes, I'll go, but maybe tomorrow." They sleep in their place and wake up the next day to find she has turned. He asks, "What's going on? Are you crazy or what?" He goes to hide in a room, but she puts her foot to stop the door from closing. So he enters the bathroom, hits her with the toilet lid, and locks her inside. He was terrified and didn't understand what was happening. He told himself, "What kind of luck is this? The only girl to enter my life turns out to be possessed." She reaches out to open the door and attacks him, so he hits her with all his strength. 3 days later, he goes out with his weapon, searching for anyone alive in the city. He approaches a building to check it out and is surprised to find the doorknob covered in blood. He's scared to open it, and suddenly a zombie attacks him. He reaches the first car he finds, takes it, and escapes. The problem is he finds a zombie in the car, crashes into a shop, and the impact sends the zombie flying. He tries to bite him, but he shoots him in the shoulder and then gives him another shot in the head. The next day, while walking in the city, he sees a car heading towards him. He hides, and suddenly it stops in front of him. He's shaking with fear, but a gentleman gets out and tells him, "Don't be afraid, come with me. I feel you're a nice young man from these days." He tells him, "No, I'm very naughty. Is that knife supposed to scare me?" He asks if he drinks alcohol, and he says, "Of course I'm very naughty. I even have a liquor cooler at home." When he hands him a glass, he throws it away, pretending to drink. On the way, they encounter a candy truck. He says they must stop to eat from it. He tells him, "Wait a minute, I'll do some exercises so if there are zombies, I'll be ready." He tells him, "What are you doing, man? Are we going to play a soccer match with him?" "All right, I'm ready, let's go." They open it to find a monstrous type of candy. Before they move the car, Columbus tells him he heard there are no zombies in the north. He replies, "I'm sure they say the same thing about the south having no zombies." While driving, they encounter a female zombie eating a corpse on the ground. Columbus tells him, "What's this disgust? How can it eat a corpse from the ground? Surely it's covered in dust." He passes by her, and after a while, they reach a supermarket. It's an opportunity for them to enter and get enough food. He enters and plays loud music so if there are zombies, they will come out. Indeed, a big one appears, and he hits him with a guitar, pushing his nose into his face. Another one comes for Columbus, and he gets scared, but Taliski finishes him off. He tells him, "I'm not running because I'm scared." Suddenly, they met a girl named Wichita, who tells them she needs help. They're surprised that her sister, Little Rock, was bitten by a zombie and she doesn't know what to do. The shock is that Wichita takes them aside and tells them they have to kill her because she can't bear to see her as a zombie. She decides to kill her herself, saying, "Wait, I'll kill her with my own hands." It's a hard moment. May God not write it for anyone. Her sister surrenders to death. Surprisingly, she points the weapon at them, and it's a trap to take their weapons. They take the weapons in the car and head to an amusement park in the north, convinced there are no zombies there. Taliski tells him, "Is what happened to us fair? I trusted them and was about to cry standing there. I turned out to be a fool." Coincidentally, they find a cool car that Taliski likes. He opens the door and finds a zombie left his hand in the car. Opening the back door, he's surprised to find weapons he couldn't dream of. Out of joy, he shoots in the air like crazy while Columbus waits for him to finish his madness so they can leave. They take the car and head north. While driving, Taliski sees his car from afar, but it's empty. He suspects it's a trap set by the girls and tells Columbus, "You stay here, and I'll check it out." He reaches the car and confirms it's completely empty. Columbus tells him, "The car is empty," and they continue. "Let's go," he tells him. "Why are you silent?" "I said let's go." He's surprised when a girl threatens him with a weapon, telling him, "Isn't it embarrassing for a 12-year-old girl to take you hostage?" He tells him, 12 years old? She looks like she's 13 inches. The important thing is that Wichita asks Taliski for the weapon. He tells her, "Over my dead body, are you crazy or what? Okay, I'm sorry, here's the weapon." Wichita arrives and threatens him, telling him to get out because she's driving. They move towards the north. Who is Wichita and who is her sister? We go back to a month ago when Wichita was at a gas station looking for her lost engagement ring. The gas station owner tells her he'll call her if he finds it. She tells him if he finds it, she'll give him a $3,000 reward. He asks for her number, and after giving him the card, she leaves. A while later, Little Rock arrives, pretending she found the ring. The gas station owner tells her it's his friend's, and she asks for her reward, easily scamming him out of $1,000. That was their life. After telling their story, he takes the weapon and threatens them. And Wichita also points her weapon at him. Columbus tells them, "Instead of standing by each other, we're going to kill each other. Be reasonable. Stop this childish behavior." They respect themselves. She continues her driving into the north because she is convinced that she will not find zombies are there. They keep walking for continuous hours, and the world around them is in chaos. There's not a single normal person they've met, and since they've been awake for 2 days straight, they agree to find a safe place to sleep. Taliski told them that since we're in Hollywood, we'll enter the coolest villa to sleep in, belonging to a star named Bill Solano. They arrive, and the place looks like a palace. Importantly, every 2 people walk together to inspect the place and ensure there are no zombies. Columbus and Sarah find a cinema and sit to watch a ghost movie. Meanwhile, Cheetah is playing golf, and the ball hits Taliski's head. Suddenly, a zombie enters, and Cheetah tries to kill him, but she is surprised to find that he is a normal person, and it turns out to be the star Silano, the owner of the place. Taliski asked him why he looked like that, and he replied that he was wearing zombie makeup to blend in with them, so Taliski greets him and kept talking to him. And the group in another world is eating popcorn and watching the movie. Solano tells them he'll pretend to be a zombie and scare them, and as soon as he eats, he feels it. They shot him in the stomach, and he said to them, "After all this life, I'm going to die like this?" They said, "We'll miss you, artist." He said, "I wish I could drink water before I die." They told him, "If you drink the water, it will come out of the hole in your stomach, artist." Unfortunately, the artist dies, and they throw his body away and continue living their lives in the villa, doing whatever they want. The next day, they wake up to a new surprise. The girls take the car again and leave, driving all day. Finally, they reach the amusement park, and Sheeta turns on all the rides, playing all night. The zombies in the city see the lights and head towards them, but they are happy and unaware that the zombies are coming for them. Suddenly, Sheeta sees them and tries to get the car and escape. They manage to get into the car at the last moment and escape, but they jump out before the car sinks into the water. They try to kill as many as they can, but it's no use as the numbers keep increasing. They get on a ride that keeps going up and down, while the zombies wait for them to come down. Sarah uses her brain and disables the control device, leaving them hanging above as punishment for their betrayal. Meanwhile, Columbus says he must search for the girls and save them. He is told to search as he pleases and to greet them when he finds them, but he changes his mind, unable to leave him alone. After hours, they reach the amusement park and kill any zombies in their path. Columbus sees the car in the water and thinks they are dead, but suddenly hears them calling from afar. He rejoices, realizing they are still alive. Taliska tells him to save them while he distracts the zombies. He makes a commotion, and the zombies leave the girls to attack him. He hangs onto a ride and kills them. The problem is that the weapon runs out, and he prepares for the massacre. He shoots them like rats, while Columbus cleverly gets rid of the zombies and reaches the girls. He finds a zombie climbing up to them, activates the ride, and gets rid of it. He tells them, "Thank God you're safe, you traitors." Sheeta hugs him and says, "Don't be mad at me." He replies, "I'm not mad. On the contrary, I'm happy." The surprise is that they confess their love for each other, and Taliska finishes off all the zombies, and they reconcile and become better than before. The surprise is that the girls take the car again, but this time they joke with them, saying, "Don't worry," and they all leave together. 10 years pass after the first part, and zombies wipe out 99% of humans on the planet, finding no humans to eat, to the point that this fool eats a statue thinking it's a person. His tongue gets stuck, and he pulls with all his might, tearing it off. During this time, we see a zombie attacking a doctor. He opens the door with an eye scan and enters, locking himself inside. She does something unexpected, takes the doctor's eye, places it in front of the door's scan, and enters bite him. We move to the film's heroes, Columbus, Taliska, Sarah, and Sheeta, who are on their way to the White House to live there. They encounter zombies and deal with them properly. Sarah hits them in the skull, Sheeta shows no mercy, and Taliska push them onto their backs, making them vomit all the food they ate. They reach the White House safely, the place where the US president lives, and enjoy their lives, spending beautiful days. One day, Columbus gathers his courage and proposes to Sheeta, offering her the ring of the Queen of America. The surprise is that she refuses, saying, "I have a phobia." He asks, "You have a phobia?" She replies, "I have a phobia of marriage because my dad divorced my mom." He asks her to give him a chance and she says no. He replies, "I'm just kidding." At this time, they are preparing the car and making a special car for fighting zombies. The next day, Columbus wakes up to find Taliska about to cry. He asks him, "Why is your face wrinkled in the morning?" He replies, "Shida and her sister took the car and left." Columbus tells him, "Don't worry, don't upset yourself. I was fed up with them anyway." While they were walking peacefully, they meet a normal person named Allison and take him with them. A whole month passes and one day they walk in the mall. He asks him if he can walk on cigarette smoke. He replies, "Of course not, are you crazy? The cigarette will make us fall on our faces." After a while, they separate and search for food. Suddenly, Columbus meets a normal girl named Madison, but she is very annoying in her speech and heavy-hearted. They sympathize with her and take her home. Taliska is annoyed with her and can't stand her, so he takes Columbus aside and tells him to find a solution with this girl, or else they'll wake up in the morning and find that she's taken the car and escaped too. He puts her in a separate room. The next day, they wake up to a loud noise, fearing that a zombie has invaded the place. The surprise is that it's Shida, who came to take weapons and leave again. He tells her, "How shameless of you, where's my car?" She stays silent and doesn't speak. He asks her, "Why are you silent? Did the zombie leave you with a knife and steal it from you or what?" She tells him that Sarah took the car and ran away with someone named Allison. He gets angry and breaks everything in front of him because he needs the car at any cost. Shida leaves him to calm down and tells them they need to save her because they don't have weapons. He tells her, "I'm coming to get my car back, nothing more." After a while, Shida apologizes to Columbus and tells him it was her mistake and she agrees to marry him. At that time, Madison comes down and Shida is shocked, saying, "Didn't I tell you it was a joke?" He tells her he got involved with this girl to annoy her. The next day, they prepare themselves to rescue Sarah and take all their weapons. He tells them, "Let's go before this silly girl comes with us." As soon as he finishes the sentence, he finds her in front of him, wearing her the prettiest outfit and carrying pink bags. She asks if someone can help her. Taliska tells her, "Are we going shopping? What's this you've brought? Get in the car, and I'll get them in." And he leaves them and walks away. They keep heading south, hoping to find her, and Taliska sees a new-looking bus. Columbus tells him, "Show me, I'm dying to see it." After a while, he trains to be ready for any zombie so that the girls will say, "Wow, what a hacker." Meanwhile, Sarah is walking with her friend Allison, and they were smoking weed and everything was a mess. She tells him the last time she smoked weed was on her dad's death day. She drank a goblet and went to bury him, walking in the funeral sad, swaying left and right. She got a call from Shida for no reason and cried for a whole hour. People asked her, "What's wrong, girl? Who called you?" She told them her sister, Shida, her dad, also died in. On the other side, they reach the bus and move with it, but they run over a barbed wire and the tire gets damaged, so they return to the car again. Madison talks about her adventures with the zombies, giving them a headache while eating almonds. Moments later, her stomach starts to hurt and her body begins to heat up. She goes down to vomit all the food she ate. She said to them, "Sure, this girl will turn into a zombie." Columbus said, "Okay guys, I'll kill her." He runs after her in the forest and tells her, "Don't worry, I won't kill you." Her appearance starts to change, and she tells him to stay away. At that moment, they hear the gunshot and understand that he killed her. They keep walking for hours and reach the hotel, suspecting they are here. As soon as they enter, they discover it's owned by a global star named Elvis. They distribute themselves. Taliska finds a piano and plays it. Suddenly, a woman comes and threatens him with death. He tells her, "I swear, I'm a normal person. I mean, is there a zombie playing the piano?" They talk to her, and she tells them she owns the hotel, and her name is Nevada. She asks them what their story is. Wichita tells her they are looking for a guy and a girl and describes their appearance. She tells them they were indeed here 2 days ago and headed to a place called Babylon, which is weapon-free, surrounded by walls, and many people live there. They agree to stay at the hotel and leave the next day. Indeed, the next day, they leave, and Nevada tells Taliska, as if she's impressed by him, to take care of himself. At that time, the group reaches Babylon and hands over their weapons to the security. The weapons are melted in front of their eyes to ensure they won't use them. The place is on a piece of land in the middle of the forest, far from zombies. On the other side, while on their way to Babylon, they encounter a truck ahead of them and are surprised to find Madison inside. She tells them she wasn't turning into a zombie. She has an almond allergy and thanks Columbus for shooting away from her. They continue for 2 full days and, thank God, arrive safely. The security tells them they must hand over their weapons before entering, and they do so. Inside, the place is magnificent, and they meet Sarah. Everyone hugs and kisses, and she apologizes to her sister Wichita for what happened. She tells them it's better to leave because they won't adapt to these people. He tells her, "After what? after they melted my weapons. At night, they all agree to live there, but he tells them, "I'm going back to the hotel to live with Nevada. Do you need anything?" Madison tells him, "Drive safe." While he's walking, he's surprised by a whole army of zombies heading to Babylon due to the lights and celebrations. He returns to tell them that in 5 minutes, an army of zombies will arrive, and the problem is they melted all the weapons, and there's not a single weapon available. But Taliski comes up with a brilliant plan, having them bring gasoline and surround the area this way. A war ensues between them and the zombies. Taliski lands safely, and everything is under control. Columbus proposes to Sheeta again, and she agrees immediately, and Taliski marries Nevada, and they leave that place and continue their adventures in another place. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you did, make sure to subscribe for more awesome content. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.